Hello, everyone. Mike Arnold still here. Ooh, I'm getting fuzzier. Uh-oh. There, we gotta touch it up. The monitors aren't doing the lighting job. There we go. Sorry for the glow. Sorry for the glare on my face. It's now getting super dark in my office, and if I put on the lights, it's gonna be worse. So, welcome to the company that shall not be named, aka Tesla. Oh, look at Dave. Dave's already ahead of the game. The unmentional company, the unmentional company, the unmentional company. Where's Wavy? I scared Wavy away with my rants. By the way, if you want, if you want to hear a Mike rant, go watch the market overview from today. You should probably watch it anyways because it's helpful advice. So this might be a smaller broadcast because I scared everyone away. Hey, Dan Jett, you're here too. Let's see. Imagine how much Tesla's PE will drop once readjusted for 2021 EPS and more pullback thereafter. It could go down to less than 200. It could go down. It could go down a substantial amount. I'm expecting a major pullback in price, a longer term, but that's just me. You're filling in for Wavy's intro, appropriately paraphrased for Mike's liking. Well, thank you very much. And I wonder, Dave, did I scare everybody away with my rant? Did you hear my rant, Dave? Don't know if you were in the last one. By the way, okay, let's see. Remember, Tesla earnings tomorrow after the close. That's the big stuff. Nasdaq lower after hours. Microsoft, even though they crushed, and they've given a great forward guidance. I'm going to be watching. All right, Nasdaq's starting to bounce back. It's reopened. You can see the Nasdaq. Why are we looking at the Nasdaq? Because, it actually got sold with Microsoft. Don't know. It's not open yet. Sorry. It still needs a little more time. It's sold off with Microsoft, even though they beat, and at the conference call, I was actually just glancing at some stuff. They're giving strong forward guidance, it looks like. So I'm going to be watching to see if the NASDAQ actually bounces back a bit. Keep an eye on the NASDAQ, though, just because Tesla will trade like it. Tesla held up pretty decently today, given, the price action in the indices. Key line the sand. Here's the deal. We had 4-hour buy yesterday. Question that was asked today. Well, if I didn't get in on the 4-hour buy, can you still get in even with a gap down? Yeah, sure. It wasn't stopped out. The stop would be below yesterday's low. So is it still enterable multiple times today? Yes. Remember I said to raise up stops and or partial profits. We got the 4-hour rotation zone we just hit. We finally got the rest of that gap fill. Even with earnings, if you didn't take partial off, again, can't give trading advice. This is just my opinions from an educational perspective. I would definitely, on a slight rally tomorrow, lock in something. Especially we're seeing with Microsoft and Texas Instruments crushed. It was up a little after hours, but not as much as I expected. Earnings, even great earnings results, are getting sold. Okay? Keep that in mind with Tesla. So Tesla could have great earnings tomorrow, knock it out of the park. It could gap up and still get sold. So that's why I'm saying trail your stops. If you're raising stops, you want an intraday stop basis, I would use the 62.5 level now, coming in about 889, and that's on a closing basis, and I wouldn't panic out in the morning. Your safer stop would be about the 75%, about 878. And I'm not talking about a 5-minute close. I started talking about this in the market overview. You need at least a 4-hour close below those levels. If you want a disaster stop, it would still be below what's today? Monday's low. Boy, I'm already at the end of the week. Below Monday's low would be a disaster stop. I'm giving stuff room to see how we trade European overnight, how we trade the open tomorrow, and then the reaction going into the FOMC Powell's talk. We'll get some gauge of stuff after the minutes are released, but I think the real volatility could come in when with his testimony or his talk. You know, he gives that the talk. So your key levels on a rally tomorrow above today's high of 950. I'm watching 963 area. You see we have a significant level there and a harmonic projection. And then 975. Your major resistance still coming in about 995. And the top of the 4-hour rotation zone is right in front of that, 990. Do not ignore some of these. At least move up a stop. And look at your daily is at 975. So if you're trying to push this and keep going with, all right, I'm going to try to even get greedy and just take something off as late as possible, 975 would be my final line in the sand before earnings. I wouldn't push it below. And they could beat and it could still gap down. Who knows? What's the market environment we're playing with? So when we're in this market environment, it sort of gets to gambling mode with earnings. All right, so this is why you use these levels going up, because it is in bearish mode on the daily. The weekly is still in neutral, but even if it rallies up here, it would need a weekly close back above 950 to even get back to barely bullish. And to get back to neutral on a daily would need a close above 1018. So I wouldn't push this to the upside right now. You're better to lock something in, and if it keeps running, you keep raising your stop. If it doesn't, you get stopped out. Hopefully it better than break even. Worst case, you should, going into earnings, your stop should be at break even. Oh, you've heard about it and look forward to hearing after this. Dave hasn't heard my rant yet. Look at those. Is everybody scared to type in something? Because I see there's a live viewer count that's pretty decent, and I'm not seeing much comments besides Dan, Jet, and Dave. I might have scared everybody off. So that's it. To the downside, let's take a look. Downside tomorrow morning, my key is support's going at about 913.50 to about 909. We start pulling back 909. My next area is about 900. You can see rejected here. Let me show you exactly what I'm working at. We had the prior rotation zone there, but rejected here. Rejected here, rejected here, finally breaking through. So that's a major support level right here, about 900. I get concerned, but again, I'm not taking major action based off of morning price action unless there's blood in the streets. But I'm not expecting blood in the streets before the FOMC, but you still have to trade what is. Okay? And even I would actually really pay attention if you had to take action, it would be down at 877 from my perspective. You have all this prior resistance, testing support, and it's a 75% harmonic. So if it did pull back farther, that would, even if you had to do something before we went to lows, that would be a key line that I'd be watching. I'm puckered for earnings. Okay, well, Dan, there you go. We are at 900 aftermarket. We're at 906. I'm not worried about that. Again, Tesla pre and post market are all over the place. Take it with a grain of salt, especially with the Nasdaq and Microsoft. We could completely change tune by tomorrow morning, and that's with me being in overall longer term bearish mode. Don't make stupid decisions based off of quick little low liquidity price action. Dan loved the massive headshot in the video yesterday. Do you want my? We could go big. See, there I go. And I will work on the lighting. I will work on it. I gotta go. Hey, Ken, can you give me some lighting recommendations, please? That aren't like gonna break the bank. Ken's here. Stock split announcement at earnings. Yeah. You're hopeful, Ken. I hope you're just kidding. Love the massive. Hey, we already got through that. Working on consistency, 2 days with all stops respected. And yeah, all right, now, Dave, hit me up after 30 days. Actually, hit me up at the end of November. I mean, end of February. That gives you 4 weeks and a few days. From massive to mini Mike. Should we do a mini mic? Here and watching. Thank you, real futurist. I got you. Thanks, Ken. Yeah, it's now getting more. It's getting a little more challenging with the green screen. I aim to do just that. And if anybody else, you put stuff in if you want me to hold you accountable. And if you blow it, if you fall off the wagon, put it in too, because that's part of the learning process. With that, I don't know what else. I mean, if you really want some good some good fireworks, go back and watch the market overview. If you want to know what's really got my goat today. Is it okay to still say got my goat when goat is an acronym for something else now? Because my parents used to say, hey, you really got my goat. What does that mean? But I don't think they meant greatest of all time. So if you want to hear me go on a slight rant, it's actually worth listening to. Not for I could care less if you listen to it or not. I actually think there's good advice buried in my rant. Let's see. I'm just seeing if there's anything else before we wrap it up. Just respect stops tomorrow. Again, raise stops going into earnings. I get something off the table based off these overall market conditions and even just where Tesla's trading against the key rotation zones. The daily buy was not triggered, obviously. Just a 4-hour buy, and you had potentials to get back in, which were valid. And other than that, just manage your position if you're long. And we'll see each other after hours tomorrow and see how earnings are. And we'll do any updates then. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to wrap this up for now. Have a great evening. Trade safely. Trade well. Manage your consistency. Respect your stops. And don't be afraid of taking partial profits and getting things to break even with these conditions. Bye for now.